Hello. So, decided to play Splatoon 2 for once. Joseph, wow, you came so fast. Okay, I have to. I don't even remember how to play. Must play. Okay. What? Splatoon 7. There were 6 before. Oh my god. That blaster looks good. Oh. I don't. What's the meta right now? Do we know? I haven't been keeping up. There's been as you can see, I missed like basically the whole last year of this game. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Wait a second. Was that a? I'm so sorry. It's over. I love blasters. Maybe I'll use this. Torpedo? What? What's a torpedo? That's useful, I guess. Oh, this is fun. If it homes in and you can like shoot with the blaster at the same time. This looks really fun. Okay, I'll just use this. This is my main. I'm done. Permanent ink brush. What's different about this? What does that even mean? Soda slosher. Slosher or splat bomb sounds fun. I can't. This is too much information at the moment. Oh, but you can shoot it down. Going to MomoCon? I think I'll be going Saturday only. My family decided that they wanted to come up to Atlanta this weekend, so now I'm obligated to hang out with them instead. But my keikaku is to bring them along to MomoCon. So that'll be sort of awkward, but whatever. Ah! I'm gonna do some paralegal with Joseph, I think. Calling. I need to be carried one-on-one for a little bit, and then let's do 4-player league bat. Oh, hello?
Hey.
Hey.
Hello? Oh, sorry.
Say something.
Test.
Okay, I need to lower your voice a tiny bit. Alright,
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah, let me get into position really quick. Just sitting down.
So,
really ready
for anyone in chat who's been keeping up with Splatoon 2, what's the meta so I can win? With
Okay,
the least
test.
amount of effort, no practice, getting carried. Okay, I'm setting a password. I expect you to know this. If you don't, then our friendship is over. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not really one. Oh, so the game is actually fair and balanced right now? Oh, Splattershot Pro with main power up? Huh.
I'm probably just gonna use 10 Umbrella because there's a new one.
I love the Splattershot Pro. I think when I left this game, I think it was Clash Blaster, and then like I think what was the other OP thing?
I don't remember.
I don't really remember. I think I was in the when I left, it was the phase where like Ballpoint just came in and everyone's frustrated at it because it's good or something.
Well, I was watching. Okay, no, real talk. I was watching one of the old videos because I don't know. I saw the Stardew videos and I was like, oh, maybe what was the last thing we even did in Splatoon? And it was just some like video whatever. But I saw the Splatfest that we did with Dre. That was modern versus retro.
Oh right, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. I saw that I was using at least there were Kensa weapons, I think.
Oh yeah, the Kensa weapons. Oh, we had a lot of fun with throwing the bouncing bomb, whatever that was called.
The
fizzy bomb.
At that point, I think I was just using the Kensa roller, but yeah.
What's the number next to my name? It's our team name, Team Puyo.
Remember when it was Puyo Nexus?
Yeah, but I'm letting Puyo Nexus become an artifact of history while we develop new directions for the Puyo community. Okay, time to have some fun. Even though I'm a range blaster or rapid, what am I? Rapid blaster?
Rapid blaster.
Okay, time to fight. Run V1. Oh gosh! Wow, I already died.
I traded.
Oh, this is bad.
Alright, what do I have? I have ink line.
Oh, this is really bad. Oh man.
No! Alright, sloshing machine exists.
Wow,
Forgot about that.
they're pros.
Remember sloshing machine?
We already lost. All right.
I forgot that sloshing machine existed. And
Oh, I love the sloshing machine. That one was fun.
Oh, hey, Dre.
I was super helpful there, huh?
Very helpful.
I like to believe that I'm good with the rapid blaster, but I don't think I ever was. I think I was just alright. What is my loadout even?
I feel like... Well, what did we use that one time? In the last video we did. Because we did Pair League and then we got like silver.
I don't know.
Teleportation one. I don't even know what I was.
It doesn't surprise me the teleportation one, since everyone teleports in this game.
I don't even know what I would have picked, because like I guess it would just be teleportation. It's like, whatever. I didn't really care about the Splatfest anyway.
Forge. Oh, I used to use the Forge Splattershot Pro a lot. That was my favorite. But Are there better things now?
I mean, Splatter Shot's just... Their Pro is just really good.
Okay,
It's the
time to rush
classic.
in head first. Let's go.
Alright, I'm supposed to do this. Okay. Just create a huge path or something.
Oh, thanks for saving me. Oh gosh, they got in really far.
I don't know how much we're gonna do when the slosh machine exists every time.
Wow, I hate walleye.
Am I gonna have to counter slosh machine?
Wow, we
Is this
lost
how
so
it's-
fast again.
Is this how this is gonna do?
This is pretty entertaining. I forgot how pro people were.
Entertain.
I didn't do anything.
Just... Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to play something that requires a little more aim. Oh, sorry. I'm getting over a cold.
Oh, I just did.
It was the first time I got sick in maybe 2 or 3 years. And it was pretty insane. Like,
I think
I didn't even last that long. I didn't know I was gonna be able to stay sick free for that long.
I usually get sick like once a year. Maple says I have 200 plus hours and I have all S except for Clan Blitz. I think I'm X in everything, or I used to be everything except for Clan Blitz. Hate Clan Blitz.
This.
It was just too much effort. I knew I wasn't like intending to go like pro anyway, so I just gave up.
Should work. I'm using the classic bubble set.
My point of view on some of the game modes in this game is that like it's not like they're like harder or more difficult than the other ones. They're just more random in their outcome sometimes. And you can try your best to control it, but there's a limit to what you can do. And you just have to accept it. Okay. Maybe since I'm a rapid blaster, I should play defensively.
I just realized I'm going pro on this map. Oh no. They have a decent spot charge on their team.
Oh gosh. Oh! Oh! I couldn't even fight a Dynamo Roller 1v1.
Random slap ball up there. I don't like how the charges work.
Oh. Hmm. Oh.
I got one. them.
Oh, come on.
Wait, oh, the charger got me. Yeah, they're pretty good. Oh no.
All right, I think we managed to keep the position from getting too bad. I'm gonna jump in, or maybe.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
This Dynamo's holding the entire middle.
Wait, did Puyo Champions get updated?
Did it?
Wait, what is everyone talking about?
They just got all 3 shots on me.
Oh gosh.
Nice. Oh.
Wow, they dodged really well.
Nope. Okay.
Okay, we gotta make it. Oh, lost
Oh,
them
I
already.
Holding mid seems like the biggest challenge these races. Ooh.
Got the snipe. Oh, the Dynamo's still there.
Dynamo's dead. Oh wait, no, that was the. What was that? Oh, the Degrees are there. Who was that? I think it was the Charger.
Wow.
It's a pretty bad stalemate. I got them. Really? The Dynamo is like... Just pop it.
No! What the- we picked it up.
Delay.
Oh, it's not. Oh, it didn't get updated. Okay, never mind. I wish Puyo Champions would have came with at least the Endless Mode update when it released in English. It's just like I read these criticisms, like these reviews online, and I'm just like, yeah, but also, but I can understand that they want to know. And I feel sad. Hey, and Docs.com. So that went a little bit better, but that Dynamo had 22 kills. They were like straight pro.
Yeah, they sort of just held mid, and then everyone who tried to just kill anyone was just like swept up.
What rank am I? I guess I'm like S. Okay, this one. Let's see, what's her team? I mean, you don't stay in X if you don't play, right?
I'm pretty sure I'm still X, and I barely flex.
So this looks like an aggressive opponent team. Well, we have a Squiffer.
I don't like where I am, actually. And then they trade with me. The classic dualies mentality. Oh, is there a brush? Yeah, there is. Oh no.
Okay, I took him out. But everyone else is dead. Oh no.
You know. I'm just gonna. Really? You'd go after me?
What? I thought I got direct and indirect. How come that didn't kill?
Oh, Ultra Stamp. Okay, we gotta.
We have to get mid back. We'll just. Oh, on the right.
I didn't get them. They didn't.
Wow, from behind. Oh. Wow, that's really big. I've never experienced that before. The Ultra Stamp.
That even protected them from the blaster shots.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't use this weapon.
The one person that could have killed me if they went up that way was.
I feel like I can't play a Rapid Blaster against, I don't know.
Oh, I was so in the range. Okay. Oh, I forgot. A big part of this game is just catch people off guard. You win.
Oh! I forgot. I accidentally touched it.
These apples. It probably doesn't help that we have a Swiffer that doesn't really do anything when anything happens.
Being a sniper is too hard in these small maps.
I'm gonna switch to handheld mode and see if that does anything. I would play in handheld mode the entire time, but it's at such low.
Wow, 23 kills. What a pro. Buffs or rushes or buffed, it feels that way.
Okay. The Nautilus exists.
Okay. I think I used to be X in 3 of the modes, except for Clan Blitz. You're going to cry because rushes are buffed? I mean, I'm not really a fan of, like, I don't know, guerrilla tactics either. I like it when you can play at a slightly slower pace, or at least you have an option to control the match to force the game to be slower.
Okay, well,
Wow, a wipe.
play like this. Stay away.
Okay, someone has to pick that up.
I'm gonna hold mid.
Alright, if I only got that third shot in.
Wait, they lived?
Whoa. I shouldn't have tried to challenge a Splatling on the left.
Oh. Oh. They happen to shoot.
Wow, they can just go so far in with the ultra stay up.
Oh, this is gross.
Darn it. I was trying to get across. Okay, you're gonna have to hold this. Oh no.
How am I? Okay, I killed two of them somehow. They have to go. Auto lock chasing them. This other Splatling's trying to. What's your game plan? Yeah, dying. What?
Well, I got it down there, so that should be an easier time. Oh, rush in the back.
I just do that. Okay. This is going well. Okay.
Oh. Stingray and Dapples.
What about like all my least favorite weapons. What? I dodge it and it still kills me? Okay. The Stingray! Ugh.
Yeah, Walleye in this map are like really good Stingray maps. Maybe that's why you keep seeing it.
Yeah, nice try.
Darn it, I tried to get them from the back. But they're good.
still makes ground.
No!
Well, I just do this. Take mid and then I wide. Come in. Oh, they still got. Okay.
I guess our teammates lag behind. The stamp swing also automatically gets rid of bombs. Wow, did they buff it? Did it always work like that? Wow, maybe we should be using the stamp because on these two maps there's like really only one way to go in, but also only one way to defend, really. So we're like, we can just like guerrilla our way through. Okay, let's do it. Wait, I don't have any weapons with the stamp.
I guess I'll carry them.
Okay, never mind.
Where is it? I guess maybe. Guess I'm back to this.
Wait, quick shooting weapons from the front can sneak in shots? Oh, so I should have attempted to challenge it anyways?
I mean, I challenged it with the Nautilus, which is one of the fastest shooting weapons in the game, and then it's like, no. So,
Ugh.
I tried to cancel it out and then like dodge.
Darn it, ugh, I'm so bad at shooting now.
Oh, of course. Hello?
Huh?
Hold on, I have to talk to someone.
Oh, they got back and missed. My bubbles just completely missed. Wow. How did that happen?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I had to talk to someone.
I tried to use my bubbles and they just somehow missed all of them, even though they were grouped together. The
I got
bubbles get...
distracted because someone called and was like, hey, let me distract you real quick. If only they didn't. I mean, I know how to deal with the
I know how to,
stand,
yeah,
which is
I understand how you're supposed to deal with it in theory. It's just that these two maps, like, once they get into a certain
Why is
point,
the call so low?
like, it's really hard to get behind them. It's like a straight path,
For some
sort
reason,
of,
the call volume is really low now, and I don't know why.
or a enclosed area, so you can't really maneuver around the stamp very well.
It's getting lower.
Hmm? Hey, the pro's on our side this time. Maybe we'll actually win.
I can barely hear you now. It's really
What?
weird. Like my call volume is just lowering and lowering. Okay, so they hit me with the bomb through my umbrella.
Fresh Squiffer.
Okay, we're just going there.
Wow, that Squiffer's fighting really close range really well. I don't think I should jump to you. Yeah, I think this is it for our push.
What is this?
Uh-oh. I don't know how you lived there. Are you about to get it? Oh, no.
No, I got killed.
Oh. Whoa.
Wow, they got... Literally every experience the inkjet. They try and be clever and shoot around it, and then just trade.
Oh, I stepped right in front of the blobber, so everything hit me.
Oh no. How did they... Wait, how did they live that?
Whoa, what? I shouldn't have dropped down. Uh-oh. Oh, this is bad.
They somehow lived a bomb at point blank range, like right in their face. Nothing.
What? Was it lag? I guess so. It has to
But like
be.
they jumped up a ledge, but it didn't look like the ledge could have saved them.
Oh, okay.
I think we should reset the call because I can barely hear you.
Okay. Wow, this is pretty bad. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's way better.
Okay, I think I need splat bombs. Ken says Splatter Shot Pro. Maybe I'll do better with this. Main power. I don't have that. I never. By the time that update came, I was kind of done with grinding for gear. So I have 0 main power ups. Okay, well we should be going up against other newbies too, right?
Maybe.
Oh.
Oh, they... Okay, I'm gonna grab it. There's someone behind us.
Got him.
Okay. And
We won! Nice teamwork. And also we went against bad opponents. But I'm not complaining. I wish Puyo Champions did what Splatoon does. It just gives you a question mark rating at the beginning.
Yeah.
It makes people take it too personally seeing the number go down. But I mean, you can't just tell people how to feel.
Oh yeah, I had a really bad ranking problem a couple days, or just yesterday,
What happened?
where like my Puyo rating just went like it went down like 100 or 200 points,
Oh.
and I just had to deal with it. And then I like basically at the end of the session, I got back up to where it was, and it felt like I didn't do anything.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
I was at like 243 or 2444, and when I finished, I was at 2443.
I think what's important is just to like understand that like the rating is supposed to fluctuate like that, and really it's more about matchmaking rather than, I don't know, grading yourself.
But I feel like there's more a problem with it.
Oh, whoa! What a pro sniper! I was moving too. Okay, this is bad.
Just take it out. Gotta love walleye.
Oh! I'm just gonna use the Rainmaker to take back the middle. Well, we sort of got it back. Oh no.
I shouldn't be here.
Okay, run up.
Get from this one. Nice.
Darn it, they were like body blocking my shots. Wow, they had all main power-ups. Is main power-up like so much better than the other abilities?
I mean, it depends on the weapon. That was like a...
Man, this sniper is really good.
It was me dodging a Swiffer hitting an ink shot. We didn't know. Yep.
Oh, what? Wow, these snipers are sneaky. They're on the left.
Oh. Ah, the curling bomb.
Okay, at least it reset though.
That's the worst when I got random curling bombs still gets you.
Okay, we got them. Michi! Oh, thank you!
got one.
Oh.
Okay.
It's still okay to go up the left.
Yep, that works.
Go, 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 go.
Finish the slide. Dang it.
As long as they don't pick it up, right? Yes.
Oh, they didn't pick it up. Okay. And now my Switch is back out of power and I have to put it back on the stand.
Oh, main power up is attack up for some weapons.
Yeah, it's like attack up for some weapons, range up for some weapons. You know, decent.
They should bring back attack up E-leader. That'll be fun.
They specifically did not do that.
I know, that sucks. You know what? Splatoon 2 reaches end of life because Splatoon 3 is coming out. They should just make every weapon an E-leader with an attack up. Let's just send the game straight to hell. Ruin everything. But you know, go out with a bang.
Okay, back to playing like this. Alright, this needs to charge. Okay, so after the
Okay,
charge
a bunch of short range weapons. Oh no.
oh, that was a double kill. Triple.
Oh, I think no, there's someone here.
There's a sploosh on the other side of mid.
Darn it, I couldn't shoot them. We need to get the middle back.
Oh, that tetanus was so spread out.
Oh! The sploosh. They're just running in.
Oh. They shot at the perfect moment. They just went right in.
Where are they?
They're all dead.
Oh.
Except for Sploosh, I guess. Which is in mid, probably. Oh, they're behind the Rainmaker.
Darn it!
I killed them with the Brella. We traded, and yet it somehow still killed us.
I don't know how my bomb still got them, but okay.
Aqua brush up. No, they're dead. Why would you leave them in me?
Oh no!
And then they died too.
No!
can't believe this. Someone behind. They're dead.
Well, ton of missiles. I couldn't see them.
They're just super jumping, so that's a mistake. Are they coming up here again? Yeah, they are.
Ah!
Can they not? Really?
Wow.
Okay, I have to charge this. So.
Wow, I got carried. Hmm.
Oh, there it is. Pro controller charger.
Okay, I'm just gonna spam splat bombs now. Trying to shoot is too hard in this game.
I can't.
Hmm? Something wrong?
I'm just putting the plug in here. And charge this. And give me one more second.
You sent me a friend request. Oh, do you have Puyo champions? Thank you.
Alright, I'm back.
Woof. Woof.
Okay.
Hey, that's the same folks again.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try to loop around on the right side and get them. Oh, they got me instead. Wow. Pros.
I got one. Okay.
Oh, we got pretty far.
We just sniped it out.
Oh my gosh. Back up. Well, they're taking back their mid. Oh my gosh. They're an Egypt Pro too.
The bomb got me.
No! If only I had gotten them.
I should probably just switch to something I can, you know, brain dead play.
I think you just need something more aggressive because, I don't know. Being a defensive
really-
player requires teamwork, but that's not possible on Splatoon 2 net play.
Look at look at solo queue.
I mean, look, they have just like 3 aggro weapons. What else did I know how to play? Okay, time to go Sonic speed. Kensa Dynamo Roller. What does that have again? Okay. Nice. Behind. Uh-oh.
Oh my god, I can't get behind her.
I tried to go off the ledge, but I was too late.
I was trying to go behind her in place.
Uh-oh, that was a bad idea to jump. Draconics! Oh my gosh, a 450 super chat! Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support.
Whoa!
What happened?
I had to stop moving and then splatter shot just came in.
Wait, I need to put quick super jump back on.
And of course.
Well, I got destroyed. Oh my gosh.
Wow, they just went. I couldn't make it back.
Remember when the Rapid Blaster had like that huge blast radius and it was like the best ever? I love those days.
I remember when Tri-Slosher was a thing and then just sort of stopped being a thing. And then Sloshing Machine became a thing and it's still a thing.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people, they're very fixated on just like DPS numbers, but space control is very underrated and people don't realize how powerful that is until that weapon gets to the top, and then they're all like, okay, busted, and then they beg for a balance patch.
Got him!
Wow, does the Rapid Blaster have terrible accuracy when you're jumping?
Yeah, all blasters have decreased accuracy when jumping.
They like nerfed it? Darn.
Well, no, they've always had that. It's just, I guess maybe they did change it at some point. Yeah, I did like a flank where like, I didn't think there were two people on that little like platform right before mid. But then I just saw a charger and then there was apparently someone else there. And they just sort of all died.
Rapid Pro is kind of underwhelming these days, but it's not absolute garbage. I don't know, I feel like it's one of my best weapons because like, okay, I need a weapon that forces me to like stay back and actually do my job properly instead of always running in and dying.
Oh, I see the Russian.
Oh.
I like how I can hit this.
Oh gosh, help!
They still got me when I was retreating. Oh, that's loud.
Oh, blah blobber.
Sorry if you keep doing that.
Ugh.
Oh, okay, let's go ahead.
What?
That didn't hit them? Oh, they threw a bomb.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Darn it.
Right there. And I couldn't move.
Maybe I should have just jumped back to base. Oh. Uh-oh. Wait, here's our chance. Let's go. Darn it, everyone died.
Okay, wait. You get super jump. Maybe. That's one. 2. Oh, they have great aim. Someone in mid. Heavy deco.
Oh, they're already in.
Okay, well, that's 2 of them dead.
No!
Nothing.
Well, that's over.
That still hit me?
Oh, I couldn't pop it. I ran out of ink.
Well, it's fine.
Hey, we're doing pretty well now.
Yeah, but it's against lower level people and we're still losing.
Oh. Maybe there's something better I could be running. Nah, this one's too hard. I'm not that good.
Oh, it's making noise.
Or do you know what they should bring back? Bring back a gold locator. I wanna experience that too. Just entirely ruin the premise of this game where you're like positioning yourself. Everyone's positions are revealed. Isn't that great?
I mean, it's not wrong to like have a way to do that, be that. It's just like, don't make it instant.
Oops. Ah! Oh no. Well, we got
King
wiped.
of Trophy.
What? Oh, I was jumping in the air, so it got me. Oh, this is
Oh, I
bad.
pushed it. The ace thing. He somehow got out.
Stingray, oh no. Okay, they're all dead.
Go. Go. Quick.
No!
The one holding it. They could have approached.
Well, that's it.
It still hit me. That's fine. I get it. It's Rainmaker. Haha. From anywhere except when it's you. And then netcode dictates that they avoided it way before.
All right, let's go, let's go, let's go.
No, okay.
Oh, darn it.
No, splat bomb. He didn't throw that, we could have just done this.
Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. No!
Honestly, we dodged that somehow. Okay. Just go. Come on.
Darn it.
No.
Come on. You guys have to hold it.
You can't.
Sorry, maybe I should have pushed further. I was trying to get at least the sniper killed.
I held that the whole time, and there was no way to do anything about it.
Come on, 2 of them are down.
Get it. Don't approach yet. That's a triple.
Go, go, go.
Nice!
We won! Finally!
That took way too much effort.
The highest chain you've ever done is a 5? Hey, you'll get better. Yo, look at us! 20!
It's the effort that it takes in this day and age. This what you require? Solo queue, more like duo queue.
I think I'll stick with this weapon. I think the point sensors help me a lot, at least, with aiming. Since with this sloshing machine, you kind of just have to shoot in the general direction. But like, I don't know. This game's really fast. I need to know where people are. Hmm.
I don't want to feed you. Wow. They're like, I have 8 on you.
Oh, wow. What a good bamboozler. We lost the middle.
I'm in. Wow. King of trades. Up behind you. There's someone around the base.
I don't think it's safe to jump. Oh my gosh, so many things.
There was someone there? I got him. What? No. Oh, the range on that.
Oh, he went down and got me. Our team keeps dying. Uh-oh. Wow, I lived with that. Darn it. They're good at rushing up. Well, they're already in. You have to be careful when you get out.
No! Is. Okay. Wait. Okay. Oh, blaster's coming in. Okay, they're hiding down there. At least they saw for a split second. They might have already ran off.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Is this our chance? Oh, they're running up alone. Why?
Okay, Blaster's dead. Ret bomb.
Oh.
Well, I guess that counted as a trigger. We have to grab this. And this is a mistake because they're hiding there. Okay. How do you have time to hide in this?
It's because they were just a lot better at least getting the kills, so then they had more time to keep the middle, or at least get somewhere. Our people weren't so good.
Does pair also match you up with people that have full teams?
I don't think so. It shouldn't. Okay. I think this is a good stage where I can help by marking people.
Wow, that got them. That's the first time I had that experience. No. Really? They had one shot to hit me and then they... How about you just avoid the splatlings altogether and go this way?
Okay, let's go. Uh-oh.
Actually, never mind. Also Stinger. Great.
Well, at least I put it in an annoying spot. Let's jump back.
Okay, that's the bomb down.
Behind.
Oh! Oh no.
Oh, they got him. Oh. I don't know if I should jump to that. Nope.
Didn't even get out of there? Okay. It was just barely too late. I feel like the Rainmaker explosion is so inconsistent. Both the shield explosion and the regular explosion.
I should have done something to take care of this splatling.
Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna go for a flank of some kind. Because they don't expect anyone over here.
Oh no.
Okay. Whoa.
Where are they going?
Splatters up there. Oh, I got away with it. And I got away with that. You get them.
Oh, sniper on the right. The E leader. You just have to keep going though. Oh, nice. I'm gonna jump over there. Did you get
Double
both
kill
of them?
with it. I got a double kill with that? I didn't think that was possible. I thought the hitbox was too small.
Okay, well I'll just try to flank from the right since they're gonna think we're gonna go over there. Or not. They're spreading out too.
That was an easy hit.
Whoa!
How,
You live!
what?
How?
I don't know! I don't know! They don't know.
They're dead. Go, 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 go.
Yes! I don't know how I lived.
How did you? I saw
hit them with
that.
the Rainmaker explosion at the right time, I guess.
I can't believe that happened. That hammer was right on top of you. That is not supposed to
It
happen.
was on top of me, and I also placed a Rainmaker explosion on top of me.
Excuse you. I think we're doing all right. Let's try to at least reach our highest.
Yeah. We say before lose streak.
Hey, you have to believe.
I mean, I could believe if I didn't have all the memories that I do now of this game.
Oh. Okay, then don't believe. You'll like reverse jinx us. Repeat after me. I hate this game. I'll never be good at it. I'm going to lose forever.
As long as I'm a ball of paranoia. That's how Splatoon works. You just have to be careful of everything. You know, sometimes be brain dead, and then everything works out. At least that's how it works with this kind of weapon. And you can't focus on aiming too much. What? Oh, I'm dead.
Oh.
Oh, that sloshing machine's lagging real hard. I killed him and then it took like 2 seconds to register. Okay, let's go.
Oh no! In the middle! splash down. There's no one around me? Oh.
Wait. Oh, okay. For a second, I was really like, did they just kill me when I killed them 5 seconds? I was really scared.
Oh.
I died to the head. Oh, there was a splashdown? When did that happen?
Wait, they have a disconnect and we're still losing.
Oh, I think the person that... yeah, the sloshing machine is the one that...
Oh.
Are they still got me with that? I really do feel like Splatoon that play just... It denies swerves until it's, like, necessary. They live because of a splashdown? Are you kidding me?
I can't believe we're still struggling even though they have 3 people only. What's going on?
I don't know. They have really good abilities. Like, that's dumb.
What?
They just... They get the splashdown, they're like...
Come on, how?
Well, that's a trade. Get rid of this. You just have to get it a little further, too. Why are they rushing?
That's me.
Oh. I was like, why are you rushing?
Well, I don't know. What else are we going to do? Our team's so bad that we were losing 3v4 anyway, so I was just like, okay, screw it. Here we go.
I was just worrying because we could have, like, you know, thinned them out because they're only 3.
Well, I think we'll be okay.
I have to actually grab the ring, and then they didn't. So...
Puyo Tetris has a little bit of a tutorial. Well, we did alright. Somehow.
I think they were just doing it. Oh!
We did it! We reached our previous level. Because of our extreme skill, right? Not because they had a disconnector.
Definitely. Yeah, why did we get like 44 points for that when the last round was like 28?
It's best not to question it.
It's like when you get minus 40 somehow in solo queue.
I really don't know how people got so high of a rating in Puyo Champions. It's just like, there's not enough people around my rating to let me gain points at a reasonable rate. So I'm not sure what these people are doing.
How do people...
I guess disconnect farming.
It's like plus 4 points.
For each win, yeah.
That's... I don't get it.
Sometimes it's even less than that, just like plus 2.
I don't get that rating system anyway, because you can just, you know, if someone's dumb enough to versus you and you have like 200 points from them.
Wow, we're like fighting as a team. What is this?
Whoa! Super's jump. That was the first time I was able to actually camp out of space.
Oh no. I survived that splashdown? What hit me? Curling bomb. Oh. I think you can run up a little. Someone from going behind though.
In sync. Yeah. That's pretty alright. I could feel the strategy, which is kind of sad. It took that long. Oh! Is that a... That's a... Does it exist? Oh! Oh, good. Bombs. 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 There was a fizzy bomb that pushed me into a curling bomb.
Wow, we lost our side really. Oh, they had armor.
No way. Nice. Let's go.
Oh, they got me.
Oh, the bamboozler got me. It was a good sight.
Well, let's just focus on keeping our color.
Oh, I don't like how the second I landed here.
Whoa, they took it back really fast.
He does.
Okay, the people on the right are weak. You should just try to get them.
Yeah, hey, you're gonna go after me when I'm not even after you? Okay. I guess you'll just go after a big target then.
Oh, nice, you got in. Oh, or not. Come on. Darn it.
How about no? Really? After all that? There's an auto bomb, of course. We have to. Okay, that's one. One down for us. They can't. Okay.
There we go.
There was no chance of them living that. They would have had to gone backwards, and then they'd pressure themselves for time even more.
$15, yeah. We got good teammates now.
We had to fight a 22 kill per. They were carrying their team, honestly.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay. To be honest, I lost hope like 3 matches ago.
What? But see, look. It's because I had hope. See, I'm carrying you with my hopes.
Oh, that's because. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Oh.
You need to have more confidence. Just total baseless confidence. Just believe.
Well, I can have confidence, but then I get killed when I try and rush in. What I need is paranoia.
No, you need to believe. Believe in positive things. Like, maybe tomorrow morning you'll walk out your front door and then, like, an ice cream truck will come by and then a piece of ice cream will fall out. So you get to eat it for free. You know? Believe in things like that. Oh, I got too close. I'm an idiot. Oh, we're all dead.
Not me.
This is a great start. Oh my.
You just knew they were about to jump in, so just, They couldn't run.
To the left, there's another brush. Must have went somewhere.
I don't like this.
Okay, the scope is protecting the left side, so there's really no way we can get it there again. We should just focus on keeping the middle.
They oh, the radius on that.
Are you gonna get it? Pick it up!
No! Really? I also don't like this stinger. It's gross.
Okay, here, we're going.
Honestly, we could just, you know, okay? You go up there, and then I'll do this.
Oh no.
You can't hit me.
Fewer battles when? Maybe next time. I accidentally played Parallel for too long. I have to go get back to work on coding. But next time, yeah. Maybe Tuesday?
Oh, we can totally take this.
Come on, go! I got 3 kills! Come on, go! Go! Pick it up! Pick it up!
Really? They wouldn't pick it up.
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
They wouldn't pick it up. There's not really anyone on the team that, like, they could have picked it up. Like, they really expected the Octobrush to pick it up? You know, the one killing all the like, spawn killing people? I wouldn't go out there. Why did you hit me? How?
Alright, I couldn't jump away fast enough. We're never gonna get as good of a chance as that last time. Walleye is too hard for that. You were so close.
There was no reason for them to not pick it up. They were like a little too slow. I also don't
Baller.
like
No! Ah, super jump, splash down.
We're probably not gonna live.
Yeah, there's snipers coming forward. Oh, Stingray.
Oh, you had a stingray.
Yeah, you can't do anything about. You can't dodge Stingray on Walleye. Oh my gosh. Alright, well that was fun.
Yeah.
Draconics, we'll do viewer battles on Tuesday night maybe. I think that's what I'll shoot for.
Who was the person that just stood there? And they were like, okay, you pick it up this time. And then like, I'm trying so hard to stay out of like the vision of everyone else.
Well, it's okay. This is the fun part of Splatoon, the struggle. Alright, well thank you for playing with me. That was fun to get back into the game a little bit. I still feel like I'm out of my element though. Like, I used to be good and now I'm just like, I kind of don't know what's going on anymore. But it's okay. I'm still having fun.
I feel like I can do things, but like everyone else is just better.
Well, the problem with getting Puyo touchers with the intent of finding people around your skill level is that the rating system is even more busted there, and you'll still run into pros until you grind like 100 matches. Whereas in Puyo Champions, you can lose like maybe like 5 matches, which kind of feel like it's sucking because you know you're losing. But you'll find people faster that way, and you'll also get to play Puyo. So I don't know. It's kind of a lose, sort of lose situation. I don't know. If you're really serious about getting better at Puyo, just get Puyo Champions. It's too much thinking otherwise. Anyways, Joseph, thank you. See you later.